So the 2002 MVPs from the AL and the NL. Let's see how the decade duels turns out for this one. So who do you got for the American League?
The 2002 American League MVP that year was the Oakland A's, Miguel Tejada. He finished with a 308 average, 34 home runs, and 131 RBIs, 354 on base, 508 slugging, 861 OPS, 108 runs, 204 hits, and 5.7 WAR. His teammate Eric Chavez finished second behind Tejada in the team. They both tied for home runs, actually, and not much difference in slugging and OPS between the two. But Eric Chavez led the team in strikeouts with 119, and he also had a pretty tough postseason that year. It was also the year that the Oakland Athletics made history, winning 20 straight games that year. It was incredible. However, the A's fell to the Minnesota Twins in the division series 3-2. The 2002 AL MVP runner-up was Alex Rodriguez of the Texas Rangers. Yes, indeed. Finished with a 300 average, 57 home runs, and 142 RBIs, 392 on base, a 623 slugging, 1,015 OPS, 125 runs, 187 hits, and 8.8 WAR. His team, the Rangers, finished dead last that year, 72-90 record. Not really very eventful. Although they had a decent lineup, however, their pitching was extremely dismal. Their only good pitcher was Kenny Rogers, not the gambler Kenny Rogers.
You got to know when to throw them, know when to bean them.
Definitely MVP voting for me this year in 2002 is fair. The A's had a more eventful season rather than compared to the Rangers in 2002. The A's had repeated their success from the previous season, and their 20 games winning streak was one for the books. They truly captured the essence of Billy Bean's Moneyball theory, as Miguel Tejada hit around a very talented A's offense despite not having a big payroll compared to the Rangers, who invested a lot on their players but failed miserably that year. The A's also had a good, solid pitching staff led by Cy Young Award winner Barry Zito. So a great year all around for the A's.
100%. Another team that had a great year was the San Francisco Giants. The NL MVP that year was Barry Bonds, who defeated Albert Pujols, the runner-up. Bonds had his usual unbelievable season. He finished number one in batting average, 370, number one in walks, on base percentage of 582, which I don't think we ever see anybody get close to 500 anymore. Number one in slugging, number one in OPS, so 1.381, which is ridiculous. He did finish number two in home runs, and his runner-up, Albert Pujols, he finished second in RBIs and 10th in OPS. His numbers were pretty standard, kind of Albert Pujols numbers. Bonds' WAR was twice as high as the next closest guy in the NL. He had an 11.7 WAR. Jeff Kent had a 7.1 WAR, his teammate. So I mean, that's an unbelievable difference of four games. Like, holy cow! He did obviously get finished number one in most offensive categories, like walks, batting average, OPS, slugging, OPS. Like, you can't if you keep looking at the stats of 2002, Bonds is like everywhere. I mean, he had the most errors amongst left fielders with 8, but I mean, that's quite a bit for a left fielder because they're not used to making hard, difficult catches. The teams were pretty close. I mean, the Cardinals won their division by 13 games, so they had a bit of a spread. The Giants finished 2.5 games back of Arizona, but they won the wild card and ended up making it to the World Series, losing to my Angels in 7 games.
Yes.
Oh. San Francisco's pitching staff ERA was second, and the Cards was fourth. So their pitching staffs were pretty close. Also, their offenses were pretty close. Like, they were both stacked offensively. They were second and third in both runs scored and home runs. But San Francisco, they had to claw their way into the playoffs by getting into that wild card spot. So Bonds' contributions to me far outweighed anything Pujols could have done for the Cardinals. Because you take out Bonds out of that lineup, the numbers are just the walks that he gets, like the intentional walks even. Like, his presence leads to more runs, more chances to score. He gives his team a better chance to win than Pujols did. So I give the National League MVP 100% fair.